So, I used to like to go skiing a fair bit. And I had a friend who was very insistent that I try and do some, like, harder runs and things like that. I'm a bit afraid of heights. And he's like, well, you should push that a bit. And then I was kind of, maybe starting to do some black diamonds, things like that. And he goes, well, we'll just go up to the top. It'll be fine. No problems. And I made it up there, and it's, like, all double blacks, and I had to, like, crawl on my hands and knees back down the mountain. And you motherfucker just sent me down a double black B movie. I thought that, I'm sitting here going, I'm ready for, like, a good blue or a black this morning, and then you just threw this at me.
So what you're saying is it was good and easy, and you could do it again.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Evolution is
okay, good.
Easy movie to understand.
Yeah, this is a training movie. We're getting you ready for the hard stuff.
Yeah. This is, like, for B movies, it's a PhD.
Hit him, Rose!
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people, aren't they?
In an ancient time, Earth was nearly destroyed. Not by man, but by gods from the sky. 7 mystics banded together to fight the invaders. They created the Dragon Balls.
This spring, the battle for our world
Who are you?
will begin. Dragon Ball Evolution.
This movie kicks ass. How's it going, everybody? By the way, this is Rough Cuts. I'm Boyx, that's Ilion. We watch movies supposedly with dogs in them, and then rate the dogs at the end. This one has a dog as the president, so it counts.
It does. And we see him in the background at one point. He looks awful.
He sure does.
He's very sick.
I think that's him. It must be.
I mean, based on the presidents the U.S. is elected, he's probably 95, so I mean, I guess that he looks fine for his age.
We did fuck up. We set ourselves up to watch Dragon Ball Evolution as a joke after last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did it, and we fucked up.
Well, I can tell you how you fucked up right away, one thing. Because last time we also joked about which of our friends we could trick into watching Dragon Ball
It was
Evolution.
none of them. It was none of them.
No, well, okay, hold up. That was because I said trick our friends into Dragon Ball Evolution, and you just went ahead and told them it was Dragon Ball Evolution.
Asked.
So of course you're not gonna get anybody. You have to trick them, boys, please. Nobody's just gonna do it.
Yeah, now you think about it, yeah. Huh. I did just say, hey, you want to watch Dragon Ball Evolution, and everybody left.
And everyone just, you cleared the room instantly. I can't understand why.
I don't know why, after what we just watched. I mean, it's pretty good.
I'm like Goku. I don't understand anything.
That's the first rule. There are no rules. You just make shit up.
The first rule is there are no rules.
I mean, right?
my visual face is going really well for our audio podcast.
No, that joke you did right now that I saw that literally nobody else understood, hilarious. And
it's very good, yeah.
They won't understand, but I did.
Just imagine that any moment when we mention Goku, that it's just this, like, the blandest, flattest faced, boring white dude staring into the middle distance with zero thoughts in his head.
The way he played Goku was just stare, head tilt, and he's got this like goofy chipmunk chin and like an overbite almost.
Yes. Like his face.
It's weird. There's like
They
no
do a bad job.
emotion.
I don't want to like hate on Justin Chatwick too much, although why would you fucking accept this role? Like, if you're supposedly, these people are all like, oh, we're fans of Dragon Ball and stuff. It's like, then you know that he's not a white dude. But anyway, like, for some reason, the way that they put the camera on him at all times, it makes his face look flat.
Yes.
Like, which he doesn't look that bad normally, but like there's something about every single shot in this that just makes it look like he has like this massive cranium out over his face, and it's just, oh god, he looks so weird and it's awful.
I'm glad that he moved on to other movies that are much better, like Kate Micucci's Unleashed, the movie where Kate Micucci tries to bone her cat and dog as humans, and then he was the sexy cat.
Yeah, he's the anthropomorphic.
The sexy cat that wants to bone his owner. Yeah. No, I get it. A much better film than Dragon Ball Evolution. I totally understand your point about Unleashed being a better movie than Dragon Ball Evolution, and that his career has skyrocketed since then.
Are you the one who lost this beautiful cat? Don't come to me. I'll come to you. Oh, yeah, that's good. So should we sleep together now?
I would say that it is a better movie, but it's not as much fun to watch. This thing's an unmitigated fucking disaster in every way, just like people would expect. But what people don't mention is that this movie is. I agree with you. You were right. It's fun.
It's funny and it's fun, and that's all it needs to be because it sucks at everything else.
Yes.
It rules.
And this is not like the Dragon Ball The Magic Begins, the last one that we did, where it's like, oh, this movie's fun because, like, they know that Dragon Ball's supposed to be fun and goofy, and so they kind of capture a little bit of that, even if it's low budget and kind of weird. Like, they get that it's supposed to be goofy fun. This is like, no, Dragon Ball's edgy and cool.
And for teens.
And then it fucking fails at every single moment.
This is the
amazing
Universal Studios dark ride of a Dragon Ball. Is how I would put it. Like, you're going around and there's like Michael Bay flashing everywhere as you're shooting your gun and puffs of air are flying in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And you're suddenly in Yamcha's hole.
God. Not the canonical hole.
Not that one, though. No, a different one.
We wanted it to be that one.
Let's talk a little bit about the
movie.
The movie. Let's talk about the actors. They had an amazing cast.
They did. No joke, actually. They had some good. Yes.
They got Chow Yun-fat to play Master Roshi, and he's a very comical, like, martial arts actor in a bunch of films. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You might have heard of that one. And also much worse films like Bulletproof Monk. You might have heard of that one.
You might have heard of it.
Which I think is funny because this movie I think actually takes a lot of keys from Bulletproof Monk. The white guy learning the martial arts from Chow Yun-fat.
Oh, right.
It's like beat for beat at parts of just that movie again. But there's Ernie Hudson as some guy.
That was so out of left field. I had looked up
Ghostbusters alumni, Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, like I had seen a trailer and such for this just beforehand because I was telling my wife Tanya about having to do this. Our special guest earlier on for Beethoven, our Beethoven expert. And I showed her the thing for it and I was like, oh my god, like, it's some of the actors, but I never saw the Ernie Hudson. So when Ernie Hudson popped in for, like, this weird cameo, as also, you know, that noted Dragon Ball character, Sifu Norris.
The one we all remember. Huh?
What?
Yeah, Chi-Chi is played by Jamie Chung, who you might know from Grown Ups, The Hangover Part 2, Sucker Punch.
The MTV reality series, The Real World San Diego.
Yeah.
And also James Marsters, i.e. Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Just randomly.
As King Piccolo.
As Piccolo. So Piccolo in this movie, by the way.
Yes.
Piccolo in this movie is very much a Flintstones Great Gazoo.
I come from a planet too far for you to fathom, and a civilization too advanced for you to comprehend.
Wait a minute, Fred. I'll bet we get wishes.
Pardon?
Yeah, we let you out of the fancy bottle. Now we get wishes, right?
Yeah, Barney's right.
Dragon! I compel you to come forth and grant my wish.
I liked it better when he was a demon.
It kicks ass. It's so good.
Yeah.
It looks so good at all times, every time he's on screen.
So I looked at some of the stuff around that, and apparently, so he took 17 hours to get into makeup the first time.
Not worth it.
And he couldn't breathe, he said. And so, like, then the next times they toned it down, and it only took 4 hours to get into. Also, he was a big fan of the manga and the anime, apparently, and he was really excited to play Piccolo across, like, they signed him up for 3 movies.
Piccolo's a good character.
Piccolo's a good character. He was really excited to play the, like, turn, right?
When he becomes
Piccolo
the
Jr.
friend.
And become the friend and do all that, and he was really excited about all of it. And then, so, you mentioned Chow Yun-Fat. Do you know about the other Chow involved in this movie?
I don't think so. No.
So, Stephen Chow, i.e. Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer, was the producer of this movie. But, like, only on paper. So, like, here, I just looking at this. At the 2014 Wizard World Convention, actor James Marsters expressed feelings that he was misled about Dragon Ball Evolution, claiming, quote, "They told me it was a $120 million picture, and that Stephen Chow was producing. And I get out to Durango, Mexico, and it's a $30 million picture, and Stephen Chow is on paper to fool us down into the desert. God. And then they don't even want to pay for the stuntman to get made up like me, so they never used the stuntman. They kept putting me on the wires. I still have a separated clavicle from that shoot because it was just gnarly."
Yikes.
So, yeah.
Well, so this production also, like, there's a number of actors that just stopped doing Hollywood movies after this. So Chow Yun-Fat is one of them. He just stopped doing American Hollywood movies. And only does Chinese led productions now.
Yep.
And some of those are really good, by the way. Still a great actor.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
For like comedy martial arts stuff. But no way, no how, never doing an American film again. I
wonder how much of it,
the actor who did Yamcha also, I think, stopped doing American movies after this. God, it's just,
It's one of those things where you have to wonder how much of it is they got raked over the coals so bad that nobody will, like, hire them or anything, and how much of it is this shoot was such a fucking disaster and it was such a trick that they were like, fuck this, like, I don't ever want to be involved in this shit again.
I think it'd be the latter.
I'm thinking that it's the latter, honestly.
Otherwise, Chow Yun-Fat would have just stopped doing movies, and he didn't, so...
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, too, is, I mean, I've got to think, if you're an actor and you hear Stephen Chow and you hear Dragon Ball and you hear that they're putting actual money on it and that, like, Toriyama actually had a little bit of input at first, but then they just overrode him on everything, right? Like, it's one of those. And so you hear about those kinds of things and they just pull the rug out from under you. Like, you've got to imagine, I mean, Dragon Ball is such a big thing over here now, but, like, that had to be such a moment for a lot of these actors where it's like, wow, like, we're actually going to do, like, Dragon Ball, like, something that's, you know, not a Hollywood kind of traditional thing, and we're going to, like, do it more authentically where we've actually got all these actors, and then it's like, oh, wait, it's a white guy and it's not Stephen Chow like directing or anything. He's just on paper.
Like, you can say Dragon Ball wasn't maybe that big over there at the time. Here's the thing. Maybe. Like, Dragon Ball was kind of big, right? Because DBZ for sure.
Sure.
This is
Maybe we're here.
partly more Dragon Ball 1, not DBZ still, though. So I don't think Dragon Ball was as big. Yeah.
It was supposed to, because like the second movie though was supposed to get right into Z.
Yeah. And one thing I want to point out is Dragon Ball is a universal language.
Yes.
If I go to another country and I can't speak that language and I say Goku, someone will look at me and be like, Goku?
Yeah, that's true.
They know Goku, alright? Dragon Ball is fucking huge.
It is unbelievably massive. So just like the fumbling of this is so weird. Because the thing that I found the most obnoxious about this is that it does two things simultaneously, which are both no-nos, and it combined it's like extra bad, which is that it is one of those movies where they try to separate it from the property because they're like, well, we need to get people in that don't know Dragon Ball, right? So they're kind of trying to do that, and it changes a bunch of things and combines a bunch of characters and does all of that to make it try and work as a movie. But then it also has all of these background, like, lore-heavy words and things just thrown in constantly, where it's like, you feel like you would have had to have actually seen the series to get it. But then they changed all of it. So, like, pick a fucking lane. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of doing both.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the worst anime adaptations in American Hollywood films. Much worse than I would say even, like, the Ghost in the Shell whitewashing movie. That one at least, like, followed the story of Ghost in the Shell.
Sure.
Right? And I think it's because they wanted to age up Goku to turn him into a teenager so they get the teens interested in Dragon Ball and coming into their movie. They wanted to have action, big sets with like, massive destruction, because we need to get those people in, and we need to have a big budget, AAA, blockbuster movie for Dragon Ball. Yeah,
this felt like a big blockbuster, big budget movie.
We need to have Superman going through a bunch of
rings,
buildings, killing everybody downtown.
God, because to put context on that, in the beginning, they're going through like a village, and it's so obviously a soundstage. Like, they basically do the N64 fog wall around everything, where it's all these really tight claustrophobic shots of like these very obvious styrofoam walls and like really, really close. And then there's just smoke outside of all the walls so that you can't see anything past that. And it's supposed to be a big village area. And you're like, oh, this is just on a closed sound set somewhere. Like, this is just a stage. And it feels like it instantly.
It feels like it, yeah.
It's like a Star Trek set, honestly, a lot of the time.
I think it's more of a George Lucas problem. Where they're like, we could just do it all in CG. We don't need to get anybody on a set somewhere.
But they have, like, a lot of the walls and stuff, though, in some of those sets weren't, like, CG. They were, like, styrofoam. Oh. Like, there was some very obvious, like, styrofoam rock sets in this.
I have a list of influences for films that I think this movie took from.
Okay.
By the way. You can tell me if I'm accurate with this list.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'll see if I can see it.
Number 1, the 1995 Power Rangers Ivan Ooze movie.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
God, you're going to pull out some shit that I do not know.
There's Ivan Ooze monsters in this movie that are goo monsters.
That is true.
That they Power Rangers fight.
Yep.
And then throw their goo.
Okay.
There's Mortal Kombat. Because there's literally a Mortal Kombat tournament in this movie. There's Van Helsing, of course, because we have the Van Helsing monster near the end of the film.
Yeah, the canonical big bad of Dragon Ball, Van Helsing.
There's Teen Wolf.
Okay. Yeah, God damn it. God damn. Alright, I mean, you're right, but also, I can't believe that you're right. We need to talk about what this movie
There's
actually
Teen
does
Wolf.
to Dragon Ball.
And then, of course, there's Bulletproof Monk, which is like beat for beat if you've seen that movie. Just white guy going around learning to be the last kung fu master. Which also has Chow Yun-Fat. So, like, that's the list of 5 I wrote down. I'm sure there's more influences than just that. But those are the 5 I wrote down while I was watching, and I'm like, this is just this movie.
I noticed one of the things that you didn't mention as an influence for this film is Dragon Ball.
Oh, no, not that one.
No, not at all.
No.
Barely at all.
Definitely not that one. Oh, and I guess the Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. We should add that to the list.
Yes. With the set design, definitely. Because, like, again, like, it really does have that styrofoam set feel. Like, everything's just, like, carved into styrofoam. Oh,
so that's it. For influences, actors. I don't think the director did a lot of action movies. It was mostly like horror before this, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about James Wong.
No.
Just like Final Destination, apparently.
I think it's just the Final Destination series, basically. And like not the first one. it's like the director they got for the sequels.
No, he did the first one, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, he did the first and the third. But, like, Final Destination's not a good movie.
No.
I've seen Final Destination.
No, it's a roller coaster ride for teenagers. Is what it is. And, like, okay.
Which is kind of what this is, in a lot of ways. And very much in that it whisks you from thing to thing with very little
it's like location to location, movie to movie. They wanted every movie in this, right? Like, they wanted the teen high school movie. They wanted the action scene. They wanted the kung fu movie. They wanted, like, the Kill Bill movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, they wanted everything. And they couldn't decide on what, so they just put it all in there. And they jumped from movie to film to movie at rapid pace. Like, one minute they're on a volcano, the next they're in a dojo. And it's like, how did they get there? Or they're crawling through a hole, and then they wind up somewhere else. And it's like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the transitions in this are wild.
Yeah,
because
I don't
you start out like, here's our feel at the beginning of this movie, and I thought that it was going to spend a lot of time here, and it didn't, like, or like bring it back, because we start out with Goku in high school as like, and he's
like a whiny bullied teen.
Yeah, he's this whiny loser. It's very much Spider-Man, like it's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Sam Raimi. That's a good point. There were some close-ups that were very Sam Raimi too.
In the beginning of this, like the spinning close-up. When you were like, what the fuck are they doing here? When like, because just Grandpa Gohan and Goku talking.
They're just talking, but
like,
they couldn't do a still shot, so they like zoomed in weirdly at an angle and like, what are they doing? Why?
It's a very Sam Raimi shot, but that. It's immediately jarring because you have Grandpa Gohan, who is, of course, Asian.
Sorry, what was his name?
Grandpa Gohan.
No, it's Gohan.
Gohan, yes.
Grandpa Gohan.
Oh, boy.
Gohan.
They couldn't even get the name
Grandpa
right.
Gohan. Oh, God. And then very, very white Goku. Having, like, a little sparring match. And then he has to go to school.
It's Goku, but with frosted tips.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's straight out of the All-Star music video, is the thing.
He's very Smash Mouth. Yeah.
And it's awful. Yeah. It's real bad. And then he goes to school, and it's like, Grandpa's like, oh, you gotta remember, you can't do any fighting at school. And so he just lets the bullies beat the shit out of him.
Because this is the dog movie portion of the film.
This is the dog movie
where the kid's getting bullied at school, and his single parent has to tell him, like, family stuff. Yeah.
Yes. And he meets Chi-Chi at school.
Who's the rich, preppy girl. Yeah.
And by meets, I mean, he gets a weird boner about her, and his, like, super sci-fi, cyberpunk...
Goku gets a lot of, like,
on
Twilight boaters in this movie. Why are they... Okay, yes. There is a science lab drawing room, classroom about the eclipse, and
It's in like an industrial complex.
It's like an industrial like an umbrella corporate.
Yeah,
Resident Evil was a reference.
Resident Evil was very
Resident
much
Evil movie. Oh my god,
very much the inspiration for the Capsule Corp stuff.
Yes.
Very, very much.
They just straight up stole that and made it Capsule Corp instead of Umbrella Corp.
I was very much waiting for like a laser hallway.
Oh my god, they should have just done the laser hallway and
Super
said
looked
fuck
like
it. Anyway, so they're in the drawing room industrial complex classroom, and then Goku's looking at Chi-Chi instead of listening to the lesson about eclipses, and he starts imagining her like sucking on a strawberry in a field of flowers, and he starts getting a huge boner.
Yeah, his key is all over the place.
In India, for
Oh my god.
This
movie rules.
Oh, this movie sucks. Jesus.
What are you trying? This is so
What
good.
is going on?
God, this is so good. Oh my god. Goku's getting a boner in class. That's what's going on. Why do you...
What might our ancestors say about the upcoming solar eclipse?
And then Goku's like, oh, well, my grandpa said that they were aliens 2,000 years ago that were going to destroy the Earth, but then they stuck him in a pressure cooker. Anyway, I'm really awkward and weird. Haha, I'm Goku. And all the bullies call him Geeko.
Yes,
which
Geeko.
But it should be Geeku?
Geeku. It'd be Geeku.
It's so dumb, they didn't even get the... They didn't
even get
right?
the Goku right. Yes,
Like,
I know.
What?
Yep. There's a lot of people in this movie too who very much like just fumble all the names. Like it's like Goku,
Yeah.
you know, that their hero.
But then Chi-Chi's trying to use her card swipe locker.
Yes.
Which is a fucking baffling thing to me.
It's super
It's like
weird.
a hotel card swipe. Right?
Yes.
Like, and she can't open it, so then Goku, like, blows all over her with air.
Yeah.
With air.
With his key load, yeah.
His key air. Which opens up every locker in the hallway. And then runs away, because he's a dweeb. And Chi-Chi runs after him. He's like, hey, did you open up all my lockers using magic key powers? And Goku's like, yeah, I totally did. I'm sorry. And Chi-Chi's like,
you wouldn't.
No,
you can't be with me. I shimmer in the sunlight.
No, I'm into it. My name's Chi-Chi. And then Goku's like, that's a really fucking stupid name. I mean, it's not stupid. It's just a terrible name. It's the worst name I've ever heard. I don't mean that. I just mean you're ugly and I hate you.
It's a name for morons.
Only a
Jesus
fucking idiot
Christ.
would have Chi-Chi. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's like a
I
dog
should leave.
name.
I should leave. And then Chi-Chi's like, no, I'm into that.
No, I'm into that too.
Come to my bopping party tonight.
That is literally what happens. The worst thing is that I'm like, fuck, I want to say that any of this is wrong, but that is exact. He just nags the shit out of her about how fucking awful her name is.
And she's super into that.
Just because my name is Chi-Chi doesn't make me a complete idiot.
Right, because there's a lot stupider names than Chi-Chi. I'm not saying that Chi-Chi's a stupid name. I'm just saying that it's not normal. But normal's overrated. I'm not saying that you're stupid or overrated. I'm gonna stop now.
Hey, I'm having a party tonight at my house.
I'll be there.
I didn't invite you. I just said there was a party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goku, you're fucking weird. This movie is so good. It's
Goku's
so
the
good.
fucking worst.
It's so good. So then he's supposed to have a birthday party with his grandpa at home with a shitty homemade cake. But he leaves beforehand. But he's kind of upset about it because he wanted to have that shitty cake.
Yeah, well, I mean, he also doesn't want to eat his grandpa's food, though, because he might make something, like, really weird. Like, what if it had noodles with chicken?
Like, yeah.
Ugh.
There's a lot of racism about Asian food in this movie for some reason. And
yup.
I don't know. It's very American.
But one of the funniest thing about it to me, though, was very honestly that it was that it
It's
was
just
like
chicken. Yeah.
that he put chicken feet in it, and then they show later on they have like chickens with their heads being cut off at like a market, and they're doing it as like a gross out thing, and you're like, if you eat chicken here, they still have to cut the head off. Like, that's not a...
No, they come in nugget form. You can just get them. Yeah.
Like, they didn't even do the traditional weird, quote-unquote weird foods that normally you'd see in these kinds of movies. They just did, like, this lazy, like, well, what's weird Asian food? Well, they eat chicken. Let's put chicken in it. It's like... What? Why are we like? I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want the racism thing in there, anyways. But it's just extra weird that they decided to do it lazily. That it's like, well, chicken's weird, right? Everyone thinks chicken's weird,
I guess.
And a bunch of it's just like a suit saying it, and all the writers go, "Yes, sir, absolutely. We'll put it in there, right? The note, chicken's weird. All right, add that into the script, boys." Like,
so then Goku puts on his leather jacket and pompadour. And he goes to Chi-Chi's bopping pool party at her mansion. But the bullies are there. But Goku said he wouldn't fight any bullies. So he doesn't. He just dodges their punches after antagonizing them into fighting him. But he's not fighting.
And they're all kung fuers.
And they're all kung fu experts, but they look like... they look like they're on a Disney Channel, like... I don't know, Cory in the House or something, like one of those shows.
They
don't look like they should know this.
No, like they have a lot of vibes like they're, like you said, Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, or honestly, again, kind of what I felt from earlier is that like this is like a Smash Mouth music video. Like this is like they're all from the fucking All-Star music video. Like they feel super like brightly lit bad TV in the 90s is what it feels like for all of them.
Goku ends up dodging all of them, and they punch each other in the face and the balls, and a lot of time in the balls, and they just get punched in the balls continuously.
And bust up a car.
And bust up a car as Goku, like, slides upside down on his hair on the hood, which is the thing.
You've never seen an electric slide like this.
That's the thing. And then after the bullies all beat each other up, then the main bully, the head bully, the boss... the level boss shows up. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you, Goku. You beat up my car. What is this, Street Fighter 2?
You can't special stage this shit."
And then he beats up his own car and beats himself up and destroys his car while Goku dodges.
Oh no.
Hey, Fuller!
And then Chi-Chi is like so impressed.
Oh my god, he's so cool.
And she really wants to bone Goku now.
And Goku's sitting there. I really wish that there was a way for us to show people his face.
His face is just drooling the whole time.
He has his mouth half open in the stupidest, like, spaced out, looking in the middle distance.
Yeah.
Every single time. And they're constantly, like, showing it in action shots where it's, like, showing him, like, spinning between two people swinging bats at him. And he, like, does this big spiral jump, and then it, like, zooms in on his face, and he's just like...
He's like a drooling ogre or something, right? Like, he's just super confused about what just happened and why he's here. Yeah,
like, I didn't know that Goku was such a master of drunk style.
It's so weird. Like, but anyways, after that, the Goku looks up at the moon and starts like werewolfing out a bit, and then he's like, "Something's wrong, my grandpa." So then he Twilight runs through the woods. To get back home, because Gohan was attacked by Piccolo and Mai from the Pilaf gang, who is not Piccolo's minion.
No.
And also looks like, we were talking about Ghost in the Shell, or at least I was earlier. It looks like the Ghost in the Shell character. Like, it looks bad.
Yeah,
the hair
it looks like
fucked
Lieutenant,
up.
yeah. She's, yeah.
It's weird. But anyways, Gohan's dead, and as he's dying, he's like, I'm dying. I'm super dead. Goku, get the balls before the eclipse.
The eclipse is going to... So yeah, let's go over the plot of Dragon Ball, which is that an alien race 2,000 years ago got trapped in a jar by 7 sages who created the Dragon Balls, which will trap them there. And then
that's what Dragon Balls do. Yeah.
Yep. They summon a dragon, but that's specifically so that it can trap an alien race. And then when those balls come together again, then it'll summon the dragon and let them take over the Earth instead of trapping them.
That's honestly, like, Piccolo is looking for the Dragon Balls originally for something similar, so, like, it's fine. It's just definitely a stretch of the story.
I mean, so much of this doesn't work. Okay, but here's the thing. Inside of this own world's logic, like, let's just erase the idea of all of the stuff we know about Dragon Ball outside of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Piccolo was the leader, and he's trapped in some kind of evil containment thing, right?
Sure.
That was the plan. Like, he's been trapped for 2,000 years.
And then he just gets out somehow.
So I was gonna say, how the fuck is he here?
Yeah, he's just here.
No explanation, nothing. Who is Mai?
Mai?
Yeah, Mai. Who's Mai?
Mai is girl.
This is my point. Like, why is she helping weird alien Piccolo? I don't know. She's just there.
Anyways,
Terminator girl.
Gohan dies, and then Goku doesn't bury him. He just, like, shoves a bunch of dirt on top of him with some rocks.
Yeah.
Like, not even a shallow grave, just dirt on top, and it makes a mound over the...
And then he, like, takes a tiny, tiny little thimble cup and pours water onto a tree nearby.
Yeah. After Gohan died, Goku's wandering around the ruins of their house and finds the Dragon Ball, the 4 Dragon Ball, and has visions of the destruction of the world or whatever.
Yes, because the Dragon Balls speak to him.
Because apparently that's the lore of Dragon Balls, that they show you the future or something now, I guess. Whatever.
It seems like they only do it to Goku, which actually does become a plot point.
Yeah, it's weird. But he hears somebody moving around below him in the first floor of the house. And it's Bulma, who's Bulma because she has one strand of blue hair. That's how you know.
Yeah. Obviously.
They needed to make sure you knew. And she's, like, sexily shooting at Goku and getting on the ground next to him and being really weird about it.
Oh, so it is Dragon Ball. There we go.
And then she's like, "Where's my fucking Prometheus orb?"
Right?
Or Prometheum. That's what it was. Prometheum.
I think it's Prometheum. Yeah, I think you're right. Prometheum orb.
And Goku's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And then we, the audience, are like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What the hell are you on?
What are you talking about?"
My Prometheum orb.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a Dragon Ball. Zushinshu, 4-star ball. I promised my grandfather how it keep it safe, so I'm not letting anyone take it from me.
4 stars. Prometheum orb has 5 stars.
Who's the idiot? Look at it.
My Prometheum orb has 5 stars on it. And he goes, "Well, this one only has 4. Checkmate, atheist."
Oh my god, there's more. Last night, someone broke into Capsule Corp in my Umbrella Corporation underground base where we keep zombies. And
it's just like walking past rows of biohorrors as she goes like, "Wait, but they broke containment just to take the stupid ball?"
And Goku's like, "Wow, you're really smart. Are you a scientist?" "Yeah, I have a PhD, and I'm from the CIA, and I'm a DARPA chief who majored in weapons that kill innocents."
She literally talks about how she has like a minor in weapons tactics. You know, that class that you take at colleges.
Dragon Ball Energy, DBE. Catchy name.
You must be a scientist.
PhD in applied dynamics, with a minor in tactical weaponry.
She doesn't use any of that in the film.
No, nothing. No, she does nothing. Yeah,
and then they just like, what was it? Goku says, "I need to find Master Roshi," because that's what Gohan told him before he died.
Yeah.
And then got buried above ground in a mound of dirt. And Bulma's like, "Well, why should I take you? I already have 1 Dragon Ball." And Goku's
like, "Why do I need your useless ass?"
Well,
and he does the stare at her very wild, like very blankly and tilts his head to the side and goes, huh?
I never thought about that. Yeah. Well, it's because I'm Goku. Okay.
Sure.
And then they drive to a city which has the Kame house, which is like a Bronx.
I forgot about Kame.
It's like a Bronx stoop house, but it's in the middle of a lake, in the middle of like cyber New York City.
I don't think it was a lake. I think it was...
Or a hole in the ground?
Yeah, I think it was a hole. I think that the intention was to modernize it, quote unquote, and imply that he was like the last holdout, like those where there's like construction going around like a tiny little hole.
Seattle has one of those. This is Up.
Yes,
it's the movie
I think that's what
Up.
they were trying to do.
But
this is me like wildly speculating because it's not like you said. It's cyber New York and it's just over a big fucking pit. It's the weirdest shit. But I
guess,
think that what they were going for is that. I think.
Then Goku finds Master Roshi, Chow Yun-Fat.
Yes.
And Chow Yun-Fat kicks his ass.
Oh yeah,
like easily.
Shit out of him.
And then I guess like Master Roshi's like, "Where's Gohan? I trained him. Gohan. And then he told you a bedtime story about the end of the world and everybody dying in a horrible explosion. It was a lullaby they taught us at night. I still have the dreams."
Yes, he recites it as like a nursery rhyme.
Why? What? What was the change for? Why?
They really, as much as I like Chow Yun-Fat in this, like I actually think that he's a highlight. He does have genuine fun with what they give him, the little bits that he has.
He's trying his best.
He's trying, but also like Chow Yun-Fat as Master Roshi is supposed to be a centuries old hermit man who's like bald and with a big mustache, and Chow Yun-Fat is like 40.
This is just his bulletproof monk role again, which is why I'm saying there's so much bulletproof monk here. It's just that guy again, teaching the white guy about martial arts.
Yeah.
Or, in this case, about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because martial arts and learning the Dragon Ball moves is all about airbending. See, there's 3 elements. Fire, water...
This is not a joke. He talks about how the Kamehameha, the ultimate airbending technique, where you can learn to bend air.
We take you to a secret place where a chosen few were taught to master the energy of the 3 elements: air, fire, and water. Shadow Crane Strike is the most basic of all the air bending techniques.
And you can use it to do things like light torches or resurrect the dead.
That Airbender movie has to be good. If this is anything, if this is any tell...
You can't set us up twice in a row. We can't do it twice. I don't want to.
Anyways,
I don't want to.
It hard cuts from there to Chi-Chi's Mortal Kombat training.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere, in the middle of the woods.
Because I said earlier, okay, we have to be getting, like I said, like I thought that we were for sure going to be spending a lot of time in high school because it's all this like...
We left the mansion pool party.
Yeah, we had this big mansion pool party. They set up all of this like, oh, he's, in love with Chi-Chi. There's all these bullies. Like, there's this whole storyline there. They drop all of it. All of it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, how do they even bring back Chi-Chi? And the answer is, she just shows up.
It's because she's in Cobra Kai now. And she has to do a Cobra Kai Mortal Kombat tournament. Because there's a tournament arc in Dragon... So Dragon Ball has tournament arcs. They explained this to somebody in the writer's room. And then, like, they just, oh yeah, I can do that. And just wrote in a tournament.
Yep.
In the middle.
It's like the tournament, too, that they have. It's not like some... high school, because the high school felt like Spider-Man. Like, it felt like a, like, 90s or, like, Disney Channel high school, like, that Sam Raimi style, or, like, Nickelodeon or something, like you were saying. A lot of Disney Channel kind of people. This is instead, like, dark single spotlight onto, like, this huge arena with all like these faces in shadow, like it's like some kind of
like a secret organization
lodge. Yeah, like it's done as like, oh no, like only the real initiates know.
Goku wanders upon this, and she's just like, "Oh, hey, Goku! Ha ha!
Hey,
good to see ya! Ha ha! Welcome to my secret training camp.
Too.
I didn't know we were doing the tournament."
Yeah, everyone knows about this, and it's like this like weird cult martial arts society ultimate tournament death battle. Everyone knows this is just.
I guess.
Okay, sure.
So,
yeah,
but then they leave Chi-Chi at the tournament.
Yep. That's just so that you know that she's still there.
To go drive off with Bulma, Master Roshi, and Goku. And then Goku's like handstanding in the back of the car, the Jeep. And Master Roshi's like, here, put this orange in your mouth. It'll look great. and then Goku does, but then he chomps down and just plasters Master Roshi's face with orange. With orange. And then they fall in Yamcha's hole.
Mm-hmm.
And Yamcha's like, wow, weird there's a hole here. Ha ha.
Anyway, I'm the only guy with a ladder around, so you're gonna have to, I made my hole ready for all three of you at once, and I'll help raise you out if you need it.
And you want to spend the night?
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, no, we'll stay the night in your hole. He goes, okay.
And then they stay the night in Yamcha's hole. And then Master Roshi, Chow Yun Fat, just jumps out of the hole and, like, is like, haha, now what?
Yeah, like, they have this big thing, like, they're trapped in there. And he has a big story time telling them about... So he goes into a little more of the plot, because there's also... So Piccolo was the one trapped in the pot, but then he was trapped in the pot, but they also sealed away Ozuru, which is his demon that he controlled to...
Yes,
fight everybody.
Because if the eclipse happens on a blood moon, which is not that uncommon, because blood moons are very fucking common.
Yes.
There's one every month. Then it's the apocalypse. And
Ozuru
it's because
comes
Ozuru
back.
comes out. And then Goku's like, oh yeah, I saw that in my Dragon Ball dream. All of you fucking died.
Yeah. And there's
in that intonation
whole talk about like, oh my god, all of this stuff, and Master Roshi's like, yeah, and that's why we need to get out of here. Like, we're in real trouble if we stay in this hole any longer. Anyway, I guess that means I should just leave.
And then
so
he
just
leaves,
flies out, and you're like, just do that right away. Why are you fucking around then?
He threatens Yamcha, but then he thinks a second of it, and he's like, because he sees that Yamcha has a drill, like a rock drill. He's like, hey, you want to make even more money? Which he didn't offer him any money or an exact amount. I don't think Yamcha ever got paid, so I don't know what this was about.
Or why it would give him money to do any of this, like, or that Master Roshi has money. Like,
and then Yamcha's like, man, I got 5 kids to feed. Fuck you, Benny. And he's like, starts drilling him like in Total Recall.
I got 4 kids to feed. So what happened to number 5? Ah, shit, man. You got me. I ain't even married. Now put your fucking hands in the air.
Now you're talking, bro.
Pretty much, yeah, he goes down and the reason why he needs his drill is because, Yamcha made a hole over a Dragon Ball.
Just randomly.
It's just there.
So then Yamcha, like, drills a hole into a cave, and then they walk into a cave and exit out of a volcano. Like an active one?
Yeah, like an active volcano. But Goku gets them across it by throwing the aliens from Alien into the lava so that they can make a bridge and walk over it.
Well, to be fair, Piccolo sat in his masturbation chair.
Yes.
And got his blood drawn.
He got milked.
He got milked of his blood, which made him orgasm, that shot out little other Piccolos.
Which, honestly, I was like, okay, they're combining a few characters. This is just Cell.
Yeah, it's
Let's
Cell.
be honest, this is just the Cell Juniors.
It's Cell, but then, like, they show this horrible xenomorph, and you're like, oh, is that Piano? Is that... which demon of Piccolo's army is that? Wow. Like, okay.
It really does not match up with the fact that he's named after woodwind instruments.
No, they're just Ivan Ooze Putty Patrol enemies, like from the Power Rangers series. And they die immediately, but not until Goku says, "Get him, Roche!"
Hit him, Roche!
Yeah, I did have the note of hit him, Roche, which just encapsulates the entirety of the feeling of this movie, because that is Dragon Ball energy if I've ever
Get
seen
him,
it.
Roche! Fuck him up! it's like real fuck him up Socrates energy.
Yes. You know, Goku, Roshi's biggest fanboy,
Yeah.
sitting there cheering from the sidelines like you'd expect from Dragon Ball.
It hard cuts from Volcano Ivan Ooze fight to Chi-Chi's tournament in the Cobra Kai tournament.
Yes.
And she's fighting this lady who, like, gives up. And Chi-Chi's mad. Why would you fucking enter a tournament if you're not even gonna fight?
Yeah, and when it cut to that, I made you go back, because we were just watching them fight, and you were like, oh, okay, well, they're just back in this, and I'm like, wait, but that's Mai, right? Like, that's like the villain's henchman.
It was Piccolo's henchman, yeah.
Why is she just suddenly there? Why the fuck is she just suddenly there?
It's because she needed Chi-Chi's blood, and she knew about Goku because...
And then she knew that Chi-Chi and Goku were a thing because...
high school, and...
But then she can get Chi-Chi's blood with her weird claw dagger, like Spencer's gift ring that has a gem in it.
I thought they made a Chi-Chi clone with that blood, but no, she uses the blood to turn into Chi-Chi, which is actually a My Hero Academia character, I think.
Correct.
Like,
yes,
in current year.
Yep.
Which means My Hero Academia stole from Dragon Ball Evolution.
Obviously.
Clearly. Anyway, she steals Chi-Chi's blood for reasons. I guess.
Okay.
And then what happens? Everybody goes to the Ernie Hudson temple, so that Master Roshi can teach Goku about the Kamehameha, which is airbending.
Yeah, so he can teach him about the Kamehameha because he believes in Goku, and that Goku will solve the problem and save the day and defeat Ozaru and Piccolo. And also, hey, Ernie Hudson, I really don't believe in this Goku asshole.
Yeah.
Can you maybe, like, give me an exit plan here? Because we really need one.
Do you have some sort of, like, a ghost trap thing I can use?
Do you have anything that we could bust somebody with? Like,
that's a big Twinkie.
If they actually said that,
Yeah,
and just made a Ghostbusters joke, it would have been way better.
It would have been way better.
Man. How do you get Ernie Hudson and don't even
Mafiba
Ghostbusters joke, right?
They want to do the Mafiba and put him in a special pot that they have to spend all his time making and sealing. Which is when you got annoyed because you're like, man, motherfucker, like they just stuck him in a pressure cooker, like off-brand pressure cooker the first time.
It's because the pot broke and then they got a pressure cooker to do it. I think is what happened.
Because that's the joke.
It's supposed to be a fucking joke.
Yes. Dragon Ball's supposed to be goofy and not weird, edgy teen shit.
Although it's really funny that it's weird, edgy teen shit.
It's very funny that it's weird, edgy teen shit.
So then Chow Yun-Fat starts teaching Goku how to Kamehameha, which is used explicitly to just light torches. That's what the giant blast beam is for. It's for lighting things like your cigarette or a torch or a campfire.
Yep.
And then Goku learns how to use the Kamehameha with the power of getting a boner for Chi-Chi.
Correct.
Because Chi-Chi shows up is like, you can only get all of this if you light 3 of them at once, Goku.
She quite literally does like strip Kamehameha with him, where she makes him move away from her so he's less likely to touch or kiss her or look at her. The more that he fails and the more that he does good, he gets closer. It's fucked. It's so wrong. And then the other thing is, the reason that he's able to unlock it is he's like, oh, yeah, Master Roche was telling me, he's my man, Roche.
My man, Roche.
But my man Roche was telling me that there's the two of you, there's two people inside of you, and you have to harness both of them to get the Kamehameha out.
The wolf that goes honk shoe, and the wolf that goes honk me 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 me.
But that is the thing, is that it's like, oh, well, like, you've got to have, like, your partner or whatever, and so then it's like, oh, and so it's my love of Chi-Chi that, like, oh, she's my other half, and that's what's letting me do the Kamehameha. Which is very, very funny, because that does let him do it. And so you're like, oh, that's what they're saying. No, that's not what they're saying. No,
that's not it. That's,
they actually...
He was only able to do it because he got a boner.
He was able to do it because he got a boner. Because the real thing is the twist that we're going to get to.
Sure.
Voice
sure.
is shaking his head so much.
Sure.
In like
twist.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
twist.
the real...
Of course.
The real reason is actually that... Well, Goku's actually Ozuru. Oops, oh fuck, I said it.
Oh no, he's a monkey man.
Oh no, he's the monkey man.
Anyways, so...
That's the second wolf inside of Goku, is the monkey.
You know, Chow Yun-Fat did do some Monkey King movies after this, but they're not Dragon Ball. Anyway, so... that night, Chi-Chi's leaving Goku's bedroom and acting all catty about having sex with Goku.
Yeah.
But it turns out it was Mai who turned into Chi-Chi using Chi-Chi's blood because of her magic blood powers that she has suddenly.
Yes.
But she still did bang Goku. Because Goku apologizes about banging her later.
Yep.
Which is very funny.
But not before he beats the ever-loving shit out of actual Chi-Chi.
Yeah, because, okay, so Chi-Chi and fake Chi-Chi are fighting. In fake
Star
CG
Trek gets stronger
fight.
here.
And then Goku's looking at both of them. He's like, I need you to say something to make me believe that you're the real Chi-Chi. And then Chi-Chi's like, I'm Chi-Chi. So then he punches the other one. But it was the fake one, you fool!
He has like a massive roundhouse kick to her head, just fucks her up.
Like, she's like, I'm Chi-Chi. The other one's like, Poyo. I'm Kirby. Fuck, killed the first one. He's so easily confused.
And then Maya shoots him with her fucking... We should talk about the guns in this. Everybody has, like, regular pistols, but then they all have LED lights on the side of them that go... just before they fire, like they're charging up.
Like they're Soldier Boy like, playing Braid.
But it's just a Glock. Like, she just, like, has, like, a Glock, but then it has, like, a single strip of LEDs down it.
It's a laser Glock.
Yeah. Now it's a laser Glock, I guess.
Yeah. But she grabs the Dragon Balls from Goku's bedroom after banging him. Yep. And runs off. They fight. Goku fucks up and knocks out the wrong Chi-Chi and then gets shot with a gun. Which, in Dragon Ball, when Goku gets shot with a gun, he's like, ow.
Canonically does not do a lot to Goku, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Hey.
But instead,
quit that.
Instead, Goku's dying.
Yes.
After Mai gets away with the Dragon Balls. And then Chow Yun-Fat has to use the Kamehameha to, like, defibrillator him?
Yes, to resurrect him from the dead. Because he was dead, too, because he's talking to Grandpa.
And it's technically airbend. Oh, he's talking to Grandpa in the blue dimension.
In the blue dimension. Yeah. Which actually, you know, canonically, that does work. Because we saw Dragon Ball The Magic Begins, and we know that when dead people are resurrected, you enter the blue dimension.
It's the blue dimension. No, that's accurate.
That is actually an arc across both of these movies.
So then, Goku wakes up from the power of the Kamehameha hitting his heart, which in theory should fucking kill him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But it's airbending now, so it's fine.
So they light the torch in his heart. Wait, no, not that either.
No. But then they're like, oh no, Piccolo has all the Dragon Balls. He stole them after she totally fucked you. Literally.
Roche just like...
Hey, my man Goku, hey. He's like punching him in the chest. Hey, good job.
Yeah, Roche, we did it, man.
And Goku, like, lifts one fist up, like, yeah.
I'm not Geeku anymore.
So then they get in Yamcha's wheels.
Yeah.
I guess. And they're just driving to where the Dragon Temple will rise from the ground using the Dragon Balls, because that's what that does. Apparently.
Yeah, pulls up the Dragon Temple.
And then they have like
you get to Ozuru.
They have like a Star Wars Episode 1 Clone Wars fight in the air or something with Piccolo.
Yeah,
I don't know what's up with that.
They kind of try to do some they kind of do a little bit of the Dragon Ball stuff here, and like Capsule Corps has like flying cars and shit.
They did some fun stuff with the Capsule Corps, like vehicles, a little bit.
Yes,
a little bit,
very little bit.
Yeah,
but it's done in like it looks like instead of being goofy, fun Dragon Ball stuff, it looks like.
It looks like
Michael Bay Transformers.
Yeah, it's not like Puff, and then it's there. Yeah, they made it really lame.
Everything that they do in this is done through the like gritty, like edgy teen early 2000s like
the Van Helsing.
They want you to listen to Godsmack while watching this and be like, yeah.
So then Piccolo fights Master Roshi, who tries to put him into the pot, but then Master Roshi fails because he falls over from a wind blast or something. I guess from Piccolo.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Some energy that hits him and destroys the pot.
And then Mai goes after Bulma and Yamcha, who have a Dragon Ball that was stolen because they fell off the tower during the air fight or something.
Yeah. They're now trying to recover all the Dragon Balls.
They're just like splitting up the party to do different fights, like a Van Helsing movie.
Yes, which is relevant because Goku goes, I'm gonna defeat Ozuru, and Piccolo goes, you're a fucking moron, you idiot, you child, you absolute asshole.
No, John.
You are Ozuru.
You are the demons. And then John was a zombie.
Dun, dun, dun.
So then Goku starts teen wolfing out and turns into a CGI Van Helsing monster.
So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Dragon Balls were to unleash Ozuru, right?
Sure. Well, but the eclipse technically happening during the Blood Moon while the Dragon Balls were in the Dragon Temple, which is technically what happened, I guess.
The Dragon Balls don't matter anymore. The whole point was to stop Ozuru's resurrection, but Ozuru just resurrects anyways. What the fuck is the point?
Yeah, Ozuru resurrects, and then Goku's like, no, it doesn't. And then he just, like, werewolf transforms. He's like, I actually didn't want to be that, and then I wasn't.
To be Ozuru.
And my grandpa told me there's no rules, so on the playground I can just make up what I want, and I'm not being him anymore.
My grandfather taught me. First rule is, there are no rules.
Okay, Goku.
But I don't want to be Ozuru, Dad. And then he just un-Ozurus himself.
And then like Mai gets beat by Yamcha, and Bulma does fucking nothing again.
Mm-hmm.
And Yamcha gets the girl, which is not what happens. Yamcha's a loser. Stop it.
It's amazing how much it tries to make Yamcha look cool in this.
Goku fights Piccolo after Piccolo killed Master Roshi. Chow Yun-Fat is dead. I repeat, yes. Chow Yun-Fat is dead.
Absolutely. Ass is grass. This is why he doesn't do any more Hollywood movies.
They do the classic Toriyama, like, blast from each of them, where it's, like, fighting between them, and then one gets hit.
Yeah, they have a beam battle.
Except Goku just, like, jumps into his beam directly, and then goes through it and kills him.
Just flies up it.
Which I don't know why he did the Kamehameha at all. Because it didn't matter. He just like shoulder checked him.
Yep.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, he just does a very, very fast shoulder check. Kamehameha's got shit on shoulder checks.
Yeah, and then Piccolo's dead. They get all the Dragon Balls, and Goku's like, no, I can't believe Master Roshi died. We knew him for, looks at his watch, 3 days.
Oh, man.
Oh no. Wait, no, the Dragon Balls. Aw, and he's like jaw dripping, like drooling.
How can we solve this? I don't know.
So they get the Dragon Balls on top of the tower, and he calls the dragon, and he's like,
Come, dragon!
the dragon!
He does actually do that. That is
Grant my wish.
This extremely white frosted tip asshole's just screaming dragon.
One thing I need to point out. During the entire movie, Piccolo has been slaughtering civilizations.
Yes.
And there are fireballs on cities, leaving thousands and thousands and thousands dead, destroying the ecosystem, destroying oceans with
he's
fish.
been blowing up like lakes to get to the Dragon Balls and
like the body count of Piccolo in this movie is like 100,000 maybe. It's large.
Yeah, he's the Demon King.
And the Dragon Ball can grant you any wish, including return all people that died during the Piccolo saga. Because they do that.
Why would you pick that as a thing that Dragon Ball would do? Dragon Ball wouldn't. Would you possibly say, like, hey, resurrect everybody that died from this saga?
They literally just do that in Dragon Ball.
In every single Dragon Ball arc, yes. That is the end of every arc.
So what's Goku's wish?
Fuck all those people. I just want Roshi.
Just the one guy. What an asshole.
Give life to Muten Roshi.
Rosh is my bro. You don't understand. Me and Rosh, we go way back.
He gets Roshi back, and then Roshi's like, "You son of a bitch! Why'd you bring me back? It was so much better there than in this movie."
Man, heaven was great. I don't want to fucking live. Just let me die.
Let me die. No, there can't be more of these.
Cruel God.
And then it hard cuts to Chi-Chi and, because remember her, and Goku, like talking about the romantic relationship and how he totally banged that girl, but he's sorry about it and he won't do it again. And Chi-Chi's like, no, it's fine. I'm cool with it.
It's okay.
But I will kick your ass.
But we've got to fight.
Freeze frame!
I let you beat me, she says. I let you shit kick me while the world was at stake because
if this movie cut into like the 3D animation of The Magic Begins for that last bit, that would have been so good.
That would have been very good.
But it freeze frames and then it does a little bit of credits and then it cuts to an after credits, pre-credits, mid-credits scene. Because there's still credits after the after credits. God damn it. And it's just like a lady in a village and she has some like small child in her bed and then she lifts up the blanket and it's just adult Piccolo. He's like, hey.
Real adult Piccolo just laying there.
And that's the movie, I guess?
That's the movie.
This movie's...
Piccolo has like 4 lines in this movie, too.
It was not worth the makeup.
There's
they put him
so
in.
nothing from him.
No.
It's incredible how little setup the villain has. Like, it's like, oh, he's an ancient alien, so he's gonna kill everybody. Well, why? Well, because he wants to. How's he gonna do it?
Well, he was mad about being in that pot.
Because of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, but he was mad about being in the pot, but his plan before that was to take over the Earth. So...
That is Piccolo's plan from Dragon Ball. But they didn't elaborate it on in this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they needed to... They have no motivations for anybody. Like...
No.
Basically, Goku's only motivation is, I want to bang Chi-Chi, which actually, I guess, is kind of canonically...
And like, it's kind of bad that Yamcha and Bulma get together, because that's not what happens. And Yamcha's not the hero. He's kind of a dork who sucks at everything.
Yeah.
And Goku doesn't know what sex is, so him apologizing for it is weird.
Oh, the whole thing is just really wild. There's so much that they just...
Yeah.
Like, Master Roshi's little campfire story of, like, oh, they're taking over the world thing is... It really feels like you have to have some understanding of what Dragon Ball is to know what the fuck is going on with what they're doing, because he just goes like, well, 2,000 years ago there was an alien race, and then the Ozaru was there, and then it was taken by the demon, and then they killed all the Earth, and then he got trapped in the pot, and that was the end of the...
Yeah.
Like, it just, like, speed runs through this, like, super, super, super fast. But it's so funny, because it feels like you need to know Dragon Ball and understand that Goku is Ozaru, and little bits of things like that to get what's going on with the plot. But also, it's not exactly following Dragon Ball, so anybody that understands that is just gonna be pissed that they changed all of it. So, like, why make it this weird esoteric thing, but then change just enough to make everyone hate it?
Well, you see, certain demographics need to show up to the theater, and we have to sell all these tickets. So, if we want the teens, and the anime fans, and the action movie fans, and the old people that don't know what the fuck is happening, but just wander into a theater, and the kids, and they just couldn't decide on what movie they wanted to make, so they just made all.
I think that's accurate. Yeah, no, I didn't get where you were going at first, but I'm like, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But there's elements of everything. Like there's the you said, like the tournament, the romance, the high school,
the high school is the most out of place.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It is such a weird beginning because like you keep saying, it felt like a Disney Channel special, and then all of a sudden it just goes into this like dark, edgy teen adventure on Star Trek sets while they're like running on a styrofoam volcano from aliens that they're throwing into the lava to make a bridge.
Yeah.
It's fucking nonsense.
I can say definitively this movie's bad.
Yes.
But I had a lot of fun watching it. So
this is one of those movies that I actually unironically feel like people don't understand what makes. There's something about how people go like, oh man, like this movie's terrible, you should watch it, and they try and sell you on a lot of movies that are just boring and awful.
This movie's bad, but it's not like bad in the way that we watch a lot of bad movies. This is just an entertainingly fun, terrible adaptation.
Yes. Like, if you went into this without paying theater prices, like, here's the thing. Honestly, I feel bad for the $4 that you spent on this. That feels bad. But if you want to sit down and, like, have a couple of friends over and maybe have, like, a beer and just, you know, take the piss out of this movie while watching it, you will have a blast.
Yes.
Like, way more than you would with something like The Room.
I don't think The Room's actually that fun to watch.
That's what I mean. This falls exactly into the... People slag on this and say you shouldn't watch it because it's unfun garbage. And like the Mario movie, which I actually...
God, the Mario movie is
unironically
so good. Yeah.
It's unironically actually kind of good. As long as you forget Mario. Just don't think about Mario at all, and then it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
But then, like, they'll slag off these movies, but then they'll watch, like, the most boring, awful shit, like The Room, and talk about how funny it is because it's so terrible, but it's
okay.
It has no energy to it. This has, like... it has so much misguided energy.
They went for it so hard.
And then if you ask them, what's it? They'd go, well, we went for it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what's it? And they went,
I don't know.
It, like Dragon Ball. And you're like,
no, but what did you do?
But what kind of movie did you make? A Dragon Ball movie. No, you didn't.
No, you
did not. Like, they just have no idea. They're fucking clueless, and it makes it so good. I loved this movie in a way. Like, I love the experience with you.
I think
it was
watching this movie is so much fun, even if this movie's not. And that in itself is an experience that is worth at least, like, reflecting on.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's rate the dogs. Oddly enough,
there is a dog.
Master Roshi is not a dog in this movie. And that's super weird. Like,
it is weird.
They fucked that up somehow.
They very, very lightly touch on it. They do, like, the lightest touches of it.
It's because he keeps accidentally touching Bulma's ass, but not on purpose. They don't want to make it weird.
And they have her accidentally find his spank bank material.
But he's like, that's just something I masturbate to, and then throws it away.
It's vintage. He tells her it's vintage. This is vintage collector stuff.
But it's just jokes, and it's not, like, creepy.
No. Yeah, it's not... Yeah. I mean, the other ones are also meant as jokes, but they don't go nearly as far.
No.
It's not him going like, oh, booga! Like, he never does anything
and his
like
eyes
that.
Literally Tex Avery popping out of his head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
which
in the
would be more Dragon Ball, but also worse.
So the only dog in this movie is, in fact, Goku / Ozaru.
Yes. Yeah, Goku is definitely a dog.
Yeah.
He's sitting there the whole time. Remember, the head tilt.
The head tilt, drooling, kind of panting.
You thought that zoom in was like a weird pan, but it's actually just that Justin Chatwin had his head to the side because he was trying to understand what the hell was happening.
And he basically...
He's just trying to parse things.
He's essentially just a werewolf in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, definitely a dog. Goku can slide upside down on his hair on a car, which I appreciate. Always gets the girl somehow. And also is very cool and somebody you should definitely be like. And we all want to be like Goku in this movie. So as a role model to young teens, out of 10, that would be my rating.
My reaction visually is just coming across very well in this podcast. This audio format is really doing us some favors today. I'm definitely going to put up, if you haven't seen it, you probably have, because it was the biggest joke from this movie, is his head slide across the car. But I will absolutely put that up on our Patreon for people because, Jesus, it's so good.
It does hit a lot of the dog movie tropes, too. Like,
yes.
It really does. So,
orphan, like, single dad, like, parent kind of thing.
Bullies, new kid in the school.
The whole romance, like, family angle, and then it just drops it and does, like, an adventure that's totally separate. Yeah, like, yep, no, there's a lot of
there's
movie
dog crime
hallmarks for this. Yep.
Yeah, it's got everything.
Do we want to rate like President Furry?
Oh yeah, King Furry or whatever his name is. Yeah, King Furry, the president of Dragon Ball World, is in the back of a scene in Cyber New York.
How did you see this? You have unbelievable.
There's like a news thing going on. And then there's a really shitty CG dog just rotating on the screen.
It looks like it's from Food Fight, is what it looks like.
It's like a food fight, but it's not T-posing, but it should be T-posing the way they did it.
Yeah. It definitely looks like a stock animation character that they just like put up and started rotating.
I don't know what they were doing with that.
They just put it behind Yamcha for some reason on a screen.
It's like center frame, too. So you're going to see it.
I have to guess that was King Furry delivering a State of the Union address, obviously, right?
King Furry decided not to be in the main plot of this film, which I think is like a 12 out of 10 dog.
That's a huge decision.
King Furry talked to his lawyers and his, his talent agents and everybody else. He's like, do not be in this movie.
Yeah, he goes, don't go in this movie. If it does well, we can hit the sequels. They're going to do sequels.
Yeah. And then he just sat in the background and then left. Smartest dog in the film.
Went to Kojima's house and got, like, scanned in. So that's how they had his model to rotate.
Just like Jeff Keighley. Anyways, let's call it here, I guess.
I will say I didn't know about this movie how much, like, it was a scam for the actors.
God.
Because, like, when you hear about, like, James Marsters talking about how, well, I hear Stephen Chow and Dragon Ball, and they say it's a $120 million movie, and I go, well, and we're going to do a series. You go, fuck yeah, I'll absolutely, right? Like, but, like, I get why he would have joined. And he was like, I was super excited. I really wanted to be Piccolo. And I'm like, I feel bad for him, because it's, like, realistically...
Well, at least he got to be the sexy cat in Unleashed, so... Oh, wait, no, that was the other guy. That was Goku.
That was the other guy. That was Goku.
Mm-hmm. And I do have a question, actually, real quick before we wrap up. Do you think there was on set, just like in the Super Mario Brothers movie, do you think everybody's just sitting around, like, smoking weed, and then Ernie Hudson walks up? He's like, hey, what are you doing smoking weed? You could have been doing it in my mansion! I got that Ghostbusters money. Let's go.
That's a big Twinkie.
And James Marsters is still just sitting in makeup and going, fuck, I can't even breathe. How am I supposed to
He like can't even hold the spliff or whatever.
We said that he had trouble breathing in all that makeup, but we didn't say why.
This canonically had to have happened.
They hotboxed James Marsters so much while he was waiting in makeup that he just couldn't breathe for the first day.
Oh, man.
See you next week for Airbender.
We're not watching The Last Airbender.
The first rule is there are no rules.
My whole life ruined by dogs.